Stats don't lie, but not one stat tells the whole truth. Start your research wherever you want. Wins, losses, streaks, defending champs. But if you dig deeper and look under the numbers, you'll start to find the stats that help you make better bets. Hockey people agree that 10 games is a large enough sample size to identify a trend. If a team is 7-3, they're worth a look no matter who they're playing. If they're 3-7, you'd be right to have your doubts, wherever the spreads and money lines are. But the events of these 10 games are just as important as the results, because they'll tell you why a team did what it did. This will help you filter out the anomalies and make better bets. First, there are the tough luck beats no one can predict. Remember Tommy Salo and the long shot heard round the world? It may be the most famous bonehead play, and it led to the toughest luck loss in the history of the sport. Belarus? But it happens all the time. A smart player takes a dumb penalty at the wrong time. A good skater blows a tire in the neutral zone and gives up an odd man rush. You get a few of those in back-to-back games, and 7-3 becomes 3-7. Then there's overtime, which really shouldn't be included in the 10-game metrics because anything can happen. For example, Washington wrapped up their 2015 season with a 5-5 record. 3 of those losses were in overtime. They could have just as easily been 8-2, and probably should have been. The flip side of this equation is also true. The Edmonton Oilers had an 8-2 run last November. 5 of those wins were in overtime. They could have just as easily been 3-7, which is exactly what happened in their next 10 games. And most importantly, there are the in-game stats. They tell a much more complete story than wins and losses. Overall, goals for and goals against will tell you where a team's strengths are. A high-scoring team not scoring over a 10-game period is almost always circumstantial. So is a low-scoring team scoring a lot. But defense is much more indicative of the quality of a team. If they're 3-7 but winning games 6-5, that probably won't last. However, if they're 3-7 with a few 1-0 losses, that probably won't last either. A strong D allowing fewer goals will eventually flip the switch and grab some wins. A team on a winning streak is great, but there's always more to the story than the score. Look under the numbers and you start to see what's really going on. That extra legwork is what'll make you a better bettor. So yes, check recent performance, but don't rely on it. 3-7's never the whole story. Neither is 7-3. Find this helpful? Find more at beabetterbetter.com and stay tuned for more under the numbers tips.